Hi everyone, I'm Tesla, a 25-year-old in Texas, and this is how I am planning my April 2022 with $2,124.66. If you've seen my past videos, you know I change my mind all the time and I move money around from categories all the time, but it's still nice for me to work with a framework and be able to look back on what I was planning. I reference my old videos all the time whenever I'm trying to figure out like what I was thinking or why I did certain things. So I'm keeping these sort of money diaries to help myself right now and then let my future know like what was going on in my life at various times. So let's get started. I always start my way up from the bottom. This is my old card that I'm keeping open that has a very low balance. It does not charge me interest, so I always just put the minimum for now. I was charged some extra fees last month, so I'm going to have to assign more money to this card, even though I haven't put anything on it yet. I'll go over those fees in my monthly recap video that'll be posted next. Investing is a little interesting because like 10 minutes before I film this, I impulsively switched some things up with my investing. I'm already doubting if it was the right decisions because sometimes I do things with like 2 minutes of forethought. So let's just cover $200 into my 401k because that comes from my gross check and then it makes it normal for my net check. I have my toolkit set up so that way scheduled transactions show as negative, which makes sense for the rest of my categories, but I can just ignore it for my investing categories. I read somewhere that it's better to max out your Roth IRA early because that money has more time to compound on itself. And so I was dollar cost averaging $500 a month, $250 twice a month into my Roth IRA to meet the $6K contribution by the end of the year. But I thought, what if I paused everything else and just focused on putting it all in my Roth IRA? So that way, the sooner the money is there, the sooner it starts compounding, yada yada. So I started pausing everything and moving those contributions around, and then I didn't even do the math until the very end. So I decided to reduce my $300 once a month cost averaging to $100 and then get rid of the ETFs I was doing and then put a pause on Fundrise, which is real estate that I was doing, and just increase my Roth IRA. And I ran a bunch of different like scenarios after it was all done, and I realized that even with the focus on my Roth IRA and increasing my contributions from $500 to $800 a month, I basically only saved myself 3 months. So I realize now, or at least I think, that whatever extra gains are to be made during this time of compound interest probably does not outweigh the gains of dollar cost averaging everything else. So I don't know. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, this looks really complicated and you should probably simplify, you're right. I do need to reevaluate my strategy and consolidate, but that is a problem for another time. I may undo all the changes I did, to be seen. Anyway, let's just add $250 to my Roth IRA because that's how much was taken from this check. My M1 Finance already pulled $100 into the appropriate ETF, so that's done. I'm still going to leave $50 for Fundrise because even though I paused it, it's supposed to pull tomorrow, and I don't know if it was already in the middle of a transaction, so I want to have it covered just in case it continues. If I did my math right, the 300 that would have gone here, I'm actually going to be putting an extra 450 here instead. I actually had to redo these charts like twice because I kept getting my math wrong, so hopefully that's the right math. You can see that finances are like not naturally my thing because I struggle even with addition, but hopefully savings should be a lot simpler. If I expect to make about $4,520 a month, I'm trying to save $620 out of that every single month. So that's only $300 per check, which makes things easier. I will auto fund emergencies, auto care, vacations, and medical care. So that's $198. My dogs fund says it's full, but I actually need to move at least $275 into my pet care category because I will be spending that on a vet bill. The vet appointment is not until next check, so I don't have to move it just yet, but this gives me an accurate goal now. I'm not going to assign all $248 now, but I will assign $118.89. I quickly moved the money back from pet care into the other fund just to make sure that I was at least the 310 threshold, which it looks like I am. I'm $7 over, which is fine. I'm just going to leave that as is. I have some hidden categories that are also for my savings, but these are low priority, so I just don't want to see them right now. Subscriptions is telling me to assign $75.07. As always, for my bills, I add $468 here, and my roommate is supposed to give me $800 every month because my house can cost between $1,300 to $1,600 a month. She didn't pay last month. I'm not sure about this month, but I'm going to keep doing what I've always been doing. First off, groceries. I canceled HelloFresh because I couldn't justify the $8 serving price when I wasn't even cooking the food. But one afternoon I was hungry and I signed up for Every Plate, which is owned by HelloFresh. But the meals are supposedly simpler and so they're cheaper at $5 a serving. So in total that will be $93.91, but for my first check it's only $40. So I'll give myself some leeway with groceries because I'll need to eat before that box comes in. So $100, basically $60 in flexible spending. But it's showing me a 6 because it's also counting the next. Transportation is a bitch, and I'll go over more of it in my monthly recap. I have my car back, but the guy didn't secure some things properly, and I am driving around without a front license plate. He's supposed to submit more stuff to the insurance company, but I already paid him for the work he's already done, so he is dragging his ass, and he gave me like a $460 estimate to do the extra work, quote unquote, and I said, I already paid over $1,000 over these last 2 months. Why wouldn't you just give it to the insurance? And he said, oh yeah, I guess might as well. As if I have a ton of money laying around just to pay for work that should have already been done. And it was a simple fender bender, whatever. So I think my car insurance will be $178.18. I paid basically $30 in gas today, and then I will need probably 2 more tanks if I go out of town, and that's like $40 each. I'm gonna round that up to $288.10. Personal care, I'm gonna buy some feminine products by a brand that's supposedly healthier for you because most sanitary products actually have all sorts of chemicals in them. And then I'll also probably need some hair stuff. I'm just gonna give myself $50. For home care, I need to continue paying off my TV. I have some toilet paper coming in, but that's from my next check, and all my towels disappeared. I've had the same set of 4 towels since freshman year of college, and they've all gone missing, and I've been using only 2 towels for the past like 2 months, and I have to give in. I have to buy more. I can't keep alternating and figuring out the washing schedule between 2 towels. So I'm going to give myself $70 in case anything else pops up. It's only showing as negative because it doesn't realize the next purchase is coming from money that I'll have at a later time. On top of Chip's vet bill that will be paid from his savings account, he needs more dog food. I bought him some last week, but my roommate's boyfriend's dog is here all the time, and he's a German Shepherd, and he eats all of Chip's food, so I'm having to regularly restock. Okay, it turns out that I have like no money left. Okay, well, I have already lent someone $3. I like to give about 20 per check into giving. I've already done 3.33 because the 5 comes from my next check. I did want some new shoes because I have Converse, and I also wanted to replace my tennis shoes. Fun fact, my shoes have already been peed on, guess by who? So my brand new white Converse, they are already yellow, so I would like some black tennis shoes. Looks like that is not going to be in the option. Sometimes I put scheduled transactions for things that I want to buy just so I can see it, even if it's not like actually bought yet. I already bought mozzarella sticks today, shame on me. I don't want to take out of savings even though I'm $7 over. I'm not going to take out of investing because that is like top priority. These I cannot. Even though I know I put $7 extra, it's already in the category. It cannot be moved. Like, I'm very inflexible. Like, once extra is in there, it is staying in there. Let's be honest with myself. It's all going to go to dining out. But we all know my history. Like, we've seen the numbers. Obviously, the most inflated category is transportation. Let's see if I can just get by with 60. I gotta say, this is tough. Whenever I'm putting too much thought into it, it's obvious that I just need to put it into the flexible category that I have instead of stressing myself out. Okay, so I basically give myself 60 for groceries, 60 for transportation. I don't have to buy these products. On one hand, I'm glad that I am trying to invest so heavily. On the other hand, it does stretch me out a lot. So I know a lot of these numbers are not looking good. It's a pretty tight month, but it will be okay. Wish me luck, and thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the March rant review. Okay, bye.